Hey everybody, it's Galmadex, and welcome back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Early Access event. Thanks again to Wizards of the Coast for providing the promotional early access entry. And without further ado, let's get back into the brand new format. This pack does not look particularly exciting to me. There's a great removal spell with Stomped by the Foot here, but then the rare and the uncommons just look okay. I guess Leonardo could be a big swing of damage if you sneak it in the late game with a bunch of other tokens. That's pretty cool. And then Dawn and Wrath, 3 mana, 2, 4 mana. When you attack, the next non-creature spell you cast this turn has affinity for artifacts, so it's pretty good early, doesn't really do anything late. I'll just take these higher rarity cards, see if we can play around with them, but I wouldn't be surprised as the format progresses if Stomp by the Foot is actually better than one or maybe even both of these. All right, pick number 2. What have we got here? We've got the Last Ronin's technique for 3 1/1s off of one spell. It also has Sneak, so you can return an unblocked attacker to get 3 of them early. Seems pretty good for the same kind of deck that Leonardo is going to be good in, because we're getting a lot of creatures onto the board for that big buff. Then Leonardo Big Brother would be fine in that kind of deck, going really wide, or just good removal like Grounded for Life. But Donatello's technique is also just a great draw spell. We could scoop up here. I think I'm going to go heavy into white this time around. We are 4 drafts deep, and we've drafted blue-red 3 times, and green-black once, so I would like to play a different archetype if we can. Haven't played any white deck yet. And we're getting plenty of white cards here. Now there's an Action News Crew and an April O'Neil. We might just take both of them. Featherbrained Filcher is very good at letting you sneak your cards in, though. So that might actually be interesting. With 2 sneak cards already. Take a Featherbrained Filcher, and then there's a red removal spell. Or just take more white spells. Some filler 2 mana white creatures. I feel like these kind of cards will all go relatively late, so I'd rather speculate on removal than grab another 2-drop. Okay. Jenica doesn't look that bad. 5 mana for a 3/3 and a 2/2, and you can plane cycle when you don't need her. Yeah, I'll just take the white cards again. This mythic does not look particularly good. Turtles in Time, 7 mana, bounce all creatures back to their hands. Then everybody can shuffle their hand and grave back to their library and then draw 7. This being a fully symmetrical effect, means that your opponent is like getting as much card draw as you if they want it. It's pretty narrow for all that mana. Okay. Pick number 5. Try to sneak out some early ramp with New Generation's technique. That doesn't really seem all that good in draft. Let's take some red aggro cards, I guess. Double Strike Equipment. And the little discard plus draw card. That is a really late Donatello's technique. Again, I don't know for sure how good it's going to be, but it seems like a pretty good deal for that card draw. Okay, pack 2, pick 1. Improvised Arsenal. 1 and a red for an equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, and for 5 mana you can create a copy of it. That's really fun. So +1/+0 at worst. If you have a bunch of artifacts in your deck, it really buffs up. You can make copies of it. That's really cool. Also, Quintessential Katana. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and whenever it deals combat damage, untap and gain 2. You auto-equip this to ninjas. That seems reasonable. Casey Jones, if we play a bunch of artifacts, can help grab that improvised arsenal. There's also a white removal spell here. I'd take this arsenal. This seems really fun. And then if I'm taking that arsenal, I really don't want to run Casey Jones if I'm going to have less than like 10 artifacts in the deck. If I'm not blue-red, I don't think that'll happen. We're on 2 artifacts right now. The Arsenal will be the 3rd. Yeah, I'm going to take the Arsenal and Grounded for Life. I think if we were just trying to win this draft, we probably would have just stuck to blue-red off of Dawn and Wrath. Like here, we could take Metalhead and improvise Arsenal. But I don't think I can justify drafting the same deck 4 times in the early access event as a content creator. So let's do something different here. See if we can do some Boros aggro. Okay. Pack 2, pick 2, another Metalhead. Null Group Biological Assets, Action News Crew, and Purple Dragon Punks. There's some green uncommons. Big 7 mana 7/7 trample that can sack some lands to gain life and draw a card. It's actually a really nice card. Then each creature you control with a counter on it can't be blocked by more than one creature. Interesting. So like some green counter deck cards. Just got me some Boros cards here. Stick to what we're doing and get rewarded. Wrath and Leo, sibling rivals. They untap 2 of your creatures whenever they attack, and then you get another combat phase, so just a lot of quick damage off of them. Then again, red and white having this alliance mechanic triggering every time one of your creatures enters. We really want all the token stuff in the world. Let's grab a point squad here or a high-flying ace. Both seem good. I guess they're all more 3-mana cards, which is awkward. We want more 2-mana creatures. At this point, Go Ninja Go is an okay removal spell plus a flicker effect on a good enter the battlefield effect. Eastwind Avatar looks okay. Raphael also looks good though, and we need 2-mana creatures, so bring Raphael in. Okay, we wield the Casey Jones. I'll play 1 copy and just have a 2-mana 2/1 haste at worst. Casey Jones is really good when Casey Jones draws an artifact, and when he doesn't, still okay as a filler 2-drop, just a 2-mana 2/1 haste. So far, this feels like it's going to be the weakest deck that we've drafted, because basically every other draft we, to an extent, went with what was open. But this time around, yeah. I mean, we're in like a pure blue-red pod, and then we're opening blue-red rares. That's pretty rough. Yeah, if we were just sticking with what was open every draft, this, just the way that RNG is lined up, we might have ended up drafting blue-red like 4 or 5 times all in this one early access event. So, spread things out here. We'll take the Flicker card and the Cavalry for 2 creatures off 1 card. Ooh, actually, I think I'm going to take the Cavalry and this old Hob. Now, it only gives your attacking tokens indestructible, but it is like the Boros card. Red card with the white ability. Here we go. Here's another good one. Mighty Mutanimals. 4 mana for a 2/1 that comes with another 2/2, and whenever another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So 4 mana for a 2/2 and a 2/1 and a +1/+1 counter wherever you want it. We don't have a lot of interactions, so I think I should take Manhole Missile. I mean, I guess I got the Bashing and I got the Grounded for life. I still want good 2-mana creatures, because I want a lot in this archetype, I think. And Cavalry's pretty perfect. 2 creatures, 1 spell. I'll take Cavalry over Manhole Missile. Broadcast Takeover. Gain control of all artifacts. Oh, that's not a draft card. Here's a Flicker card. This works with the Ninja Cavalry. Play it on turn 2, then play Koi on turn 3, and you get your 1/1 token out of it. If we get any black dual land to help splash that, that'll be good too. Make your move, and then there is a black dual land here. Legend Rule is a hard sell on 2-drops, so I'm probably going to cut the second Raphael. Like, having the Legend Rule on a card that your opponent isn't gonna like really want to or have to spend removal on is pretty concerning. It just makes the odds of you drawing it without being able to play it a lot more high. Because if you just have you have 1 Raphael on the board, you can never play the second one. But with bigger legends, like 5 and 6 mana legends, often they have high enough impact on the game that your opponent's going to have to spend removal on them or trade into them for them to like not kill your opponent. In which case, if you draw a second copy, that's usually okay because you can find a way where they will be willing to trade into it. Okay, what do we want to do here with how we build this? I mean, first things first, we cut all the unplayable stuff. I'm honestly not so sure about these double strike equipment. They're really slow. And then Didn't become a full artifact deck for this arsenal. It's still a good mana sink, and I've got a couple ninja cavalries to go with it. That would be really nice. But it also feels a bit narrow. Let's cut one of the two Raphael. Let's cut the artifact mana guy. Koi is probably not worth playing a foot headquarters. Some of these biological assets are redundant. These are both land cyclers, so we can cut a land. 6 cards to cut. Let's cut the double strike equipment. Don and Rav Koya in one null group, I think. 17 creatures, 7 spells. Multiple removal spells, token producer. Alright, looks good to me. Let's just see what we can do with some Boros aggro here. See if we can't curve some opponents out with this one. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 1. Very reasonable hand with the Raph and Leo on turn 3. Opponent starts with Wingnut, Bat on the Belfry. Their blue-red deck. Just haste some damage in here. Go KC, go KC, go. No artifacts. Opponent takes the trade. Play EPF Point Squad. Raph and Leo. Alright, scientists to tap and stun Raph and Leo. Get a 2-1 and a 3-3 off of Mighty Mutanimals. They bot bash Raph and Leo, but the Mutanimals remain, which is going to be very good here. Once the point squad gets bigger, we can cast Make Your Move on it. Not putting any counters on the mechanized ninja cavalry, that way I could still sneak it later. Donatello. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a creature. When artifact's put into the graveyard, if it had counters on it, move those to something else. Okay, that's super bad for me, but I also can't make your move it, so it is what it is. I think just keep juicing up the scientists at worst. Okay. Five mana to sneak Leonardo in. If I want to attack this turn, I have to just hardcast Leonardo, which is so sad. Okay. Okay, Leonardo only gives himself first strike. Take the 5. Attempt tempted to play the biological assets to go wide here. I think that's fine. Ray Fillet, Man Ray. 3/3 flyer, get a mutagen so they can put counters on their creatures and they can remove those counters to draw a card. That's very good with Donatello. Donatello's just gonna buff the scientists. Okay, so if I kill the scientists, they get to move the counters over. So we just kill the point squad, attack all. They block a 5/5 and a 3/3, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh yeah, they're just dead. I think they're dead. Block 3, block 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, exactsies. Nice. All right. Was not sure we were going to outrace Donatello being a problem here. Yeah, I guess I didn't also realize that Donatello's ability is as a sorcery. So that helped us out a lot that they had to do that as a sorcery instead of being able to hold up blocks here. Because then, like, at instant speed, they can turn the mutagen into, like, a creature and then block with it. Stuff like that, so... Alright, Donatello's slightly weaker than I thought. Still a very scary card, but we got just a great aggro curve out. Played a million creatures on that board. We did the Red-White Alliance thing in this set. That is 1-0 heading into Game 2. Alright, here we are on the draw for Game 2. What a good hand here. Action News Crew. Some removal, a big threat. Not the fastest hand. Oh boy, Technodrome is a really, really good card. Played against it once before. I played poorly. I should have killed it immediately. And this time I can't kill it immediately. But this is really good with all the expendable artifacts in this set. Is this going to become a 6/6 before we can deal 6 because we're on the draw? There's a chance. That would be really bad for me. As our draw was here, we hit another 4-mana spell. Really hoping we could find something to play this turn. Oh, it can't block. What am I doing? What am I doing? I could have Vigilance swung in. Yeah, it can't attack or block. For some reason, I thought it was Defender, where it just can't attack right now. But no, we could have done the Ronin technique there. Alright, at least we will be able to bash the Technodrome. But I did miss out on 2 points of damage or a Ronin technique. Okay, it's definitely bashing time. They can respond by sacking their pizza to draw a card, but it won't matter. I mean, they'll get good card advantage, but the drone will still die. So they should be at 18, or I should have some 1/1s. That would have been tapped and attacking, so they would have been at 17 actually, which is rough. Well, that was a really good turn. Point squad plus cavalry. I'm gonna have to ground it for life this point squad at some point. But I think I can start with Zog. Take 1 hit, and then I can ground it for life the turn that it's tapped, so that I only spend 2 mana for that. And I can spend 4 mana on one of these 2 cards. Probably want to play the Eastwind Avatar, that way I can get the Alliance triggers on it the turn after that. Chrome Dome. They got the Dome and the Drome. All their artifact creatures get +1/+0. That is sick. I want to draft that card so bad. Speaking of sick, there's removal. That's really bad for me. Do not want to redraw a 5 mana creature right now. I need to be dumping out more blockers than that. Ronin Technique or play a 2/4. I'm going to play the 2/4 first. And then what is the other ability? Create a token that's a copy of another artifact control, give it haste and sack it during the end step. Okay, at least the activated ability. No, that actually is really strong. At least it doesn't make permanent copies, but it can still keep copying cards like Mechanized Ninja Cavalry. And then the cavalry copies will make permanent 1/1s. So that is still mega bad for me. Alright. This is going to be a painful turn. They tap our blocker down. We take at least 5. They did not use the mutagen, so it will be 5. They're saving that mana maybe for Chrome Dome or something. It is an instant speed ability, so they can use it during our end step on their cavalry. I think. Yep, if you use an ability like this during your opponent's end step, your card will stay until your end step. So they could have done that during our end step instead of right then. I really don't think it's going to matter here. So we are quite overwhelmed on this board. These are good hits, though. Might get a sneak here. Probably not. But I'll take that chance. Like, value-wise card advantage, this trade is pretty good for our opponent. But being at 7 life, they have to think about like trying to get the crackback lethal as quickly as possible, where they might not take the trade because of the damage it lets them push for on the crackback. Sadly, though, they do take the trade. Metalhead's a really, really strong card. We 4-0'd our deck that had 2 Metalheads in it. It had a bunch of rares in it too, but Metalhead is gross stuff. Yeah, this is a significant amount of damage. And then they can make copies of Metalheads to bounce something every turn. Yeah, we are not getting there this game. Technodrome into Chrome Dome. Too strong. Definitely played it out wrong as well. They should have taken a good chunk more damage if we attacked through the drome. But I'm good ending it there. That's going to be 1-1 heading into game 3. Time for the rematch. Bring it on. Let's curve them out this time. No, we're on the draw again. We're supposed to be able to be on the play in best 2 out of 3. Oh my god. Ninja Cavalry's so good against a 1-mana 2/1. But that's why my homie has first strike. Nothing else to do with that mana. They got the Technodrome in their opener both games. Yikes. At least they get to kill it here. I should have attacked with Leonardo first again. That's 2 games in a row misplaying against Technodrome. I should have attacked with Leonardo. They wouldn't block because I'm threatening to give first strike. And then, when I don't need to give first strike, I kill the Technodrome. Great draw. Getting the mighty Mutanimals down here. Trade and a Leo, we take those. Omni Cheese Pizza's the play. And Buzzbots. Okay, then. It's the most damage we can push for. I think the double trade is perfectly fine. They'll draw a card off Buzzbots, but we'll clear the board for everyone else. The Mighty Mutanimals seem like one of the best uncommons for this kind of deck by a lot. Like, the initial value, the initial input of them being like 5 power worth of stats for 4 mana is really, really good. A 2/1, a 2/2, and a +1/+1 counter immediately. That's the worst case scenario. And if they stick around, they get a lot scarier. Which one of these do I cast here? I'm going to cast the one that exiles because I'm annoyed that they brought it back from grave. Henchbots, sure. Good old Hob. All right. I did only end up with like a couple sneak cards, so again, I might cut this Featherbrained filter between rounds. EPF point squad. Getting counters when they play creatures. Ooh, Jenica for 2 more creatures is really nice. Get in there, old Hob. What kind of trick is this gonna be? Make it a 4/5 draw card? How about no? You do not draw a card. You do not pass go. Another cheese pizza. Chrome Dome again? Oh my god. Now they have Chrome Dome Henchbots? They got both rares, both games. How do you beat that? You try your best. You got this, old Hob. We'll figure something out. Play Zog here. They're going to start eating their pizza to get a little bit more life. Oh, I should have pre-combated that, but it would still just bounce off the Chrome Dome anyway, and then get sacked. Yeah, their turn would have been the exact same. But I keep forgetting Zog has an enter effect, too. Because I think there's a card like this in the Spider-Man set that's like just a 5-mana 5/4 reach trample with Mountain Cycling. Something very similar. Raphael before Jenica is going to be a huge deal here. That's really nice. Oh, I should have pre-combated it again. I'm missing so many things. But yeah, we would have gotten one more point of damage. Chrome Dome instant speed is disgusting. So they flicker in a henchbot's, exile one of my tapped creatures. Then they can block with the henchbot's copy. Okay, I think I'm actually chilling. Should have played Raphael pre-combat, though. Perfectly happy to redraw Old Hob with the Raphael on the board. Oh, wait. I've been playing Old Hob wrong the whole time. I'm learning so many things today. It says, that's such a weird card. Okay, it specifically says destroy it at the beginning of the next end step, not sacrifice it. Which means we could have been keeping the tokens around forever if we gave them indestructible. So you can keep the Old Hob tokens the way that they did it. Oh, they're just going to draw a card and gain some life. Okay, that means we do get a swing here then. We really get a swing here. Ping, go to combat, ping. Get him for 5. With Raphael on the board. I feel like I could have won this game if I was playing Old Hob right, but they hit the Drome and the Dome again, and then Northwind Avatar for an even stronger rare than the first two they just played. Get some punishment here. I'm still at 19. There is a chance. It's not a big one, but a chance. I think I definitely would have won if I were playing Hob right up until now. Which is unfortunate. I mean, not just Hob. If I were playing everything right, there were other things I was missing. Missed a couple Leonardo damage again. They have to lose somebody and block that. I think we send the squad because if they kill this, block that, still 3. Yeah, we send the squad at this point. Then we get our dude back. They go to 2, which is dead to cavalry if they don't save the pizza mana. They did just draw a bunch of cards, though. Another pizza for another card. Donatello for a blocker. So they have 2 blockers and 5 life now. Block a 3, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, take Exactsies and die. Oh, they super die to that draw. I can't believe we still got there. If they don't have a good 1-mana play. I think we deserve to lose this game. There were a lot of punts in this one. But it does feel super good breaking our way through the drone plus dome combo after they killed us within the first game. GG from opponent. Just send everybody in. Really great work from Raphael here. And it would have been great work from the old Hob as well if I knew what I was doing with that card. 0 rare game. 0 rare game. Fight through the 3 of theirs. Let's go. Good stuff. All right. 2-1 heading into game number 4. At worst, a 50-50 record now. All right, here we are for game 4. We have a curve here. 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, 5 drop. We are on the draw. Playing against another red deck. Blue-red again. Here's the crew. Sure. Manhole Missile. Get rid of something they don't want and draw another card. Fugitive Droid and pass. Here's High Flying Ace. And we pass. So we got a flyer down now. Which, by the way, is this Ace Duck? I was gonna like, by the way, this is a duck, right? Yes, it is. Are they gonna have the 4/5 trick thing? Yeah. Mind Transfer Protocol is going to be just a gross card because there's not a lot you can do about it. You can either just like never block and then they get to do sneak cards, or you do block and then they get to just eat your stuff and still draw a card. Suit Up was one of the best blue commons in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and it was the exact same as this card. So I expect this to be a top performing card in the set. So we're going to have to get used to trying to find out when they're likely sneaking and when they're likely tricking, because the trick is a 2-for-1, which is very strong. Oh, was this a situation where it was both? Wow, yeah. It was a situation where it was both, so it's like either they sneak or they kill our thing. Oh, and their sneak card was a great rare. Okay, yep, that would have been really bad for us no matter what. But I guess if they snuck Donatello in earlier, they wouldn't have had another artifact out just yet. Nobody to pick up scientists and play it again and stun somebody again. It's very good. I might not have the land to do it all right now, though. Yeah, they don't have the next land yet. So Zog still holds them off for 1 turn. We are at 17, so I don't think it's crazy to just send Zog in, but the problem is if Donatello ever hits us, we're super dead, so we kind of just need to hold really good blocks up to stop Donatello from popping off even harder than he already has. Ooh, Brainstorm from the bonus sheet. Very cool. Metalhead on Zog. Poke me for 1, down to 16. Draw some more lands. Replay a Zog. Get a Raph and Leo swing here. Okay. If I get to kill Donatello, I'm chilling. That was the goal. Alright, board states are relatively even, but they are ahead a couple cards here, just since we've got a little more lands and no, 2-for-1s, where they 2-for-1'd us with Donatello and 2-for-1'd us with Mind Transfer Protocol. Baxter Stockman as the follow-up is quite bad. That's just another card that's going to kill us now. One of their artifacts gets +3/+0 Vigilance and First Strike every turn. So they can do it with like the unblockable Fugitive Droid, but even just doing it on Metalhead, having a 7-power First Striker, we would have like no blocks. So I feel like they actually probably could have gotten more damage in if they chose Metalhead there. Because we just would not have a way to block that profitably at all. Eastwind Avatar will be the play. Improvised Arsenal. I can give 1 thing +1. But then Baxter is going to rip my soul apart. Once you start sinking mana into this thing, it is really, really scary. Because it's only 1 mana to equip. If you have 2 copies of them, then you have like +4/+0 total that you're moving around. Wherever you need it. +2/+0 to 2 different creatures. It escalates really quickly. Probably not fast enough for the purposes of this game, because I feel like I'm about to take 12 as I speak. But it does feel pretty good, even if you're not an artifact deck. unblockable 4. And Metalhead. Metalhead with 2 mana up, they can sack 2 artifacts and make it a 7 power, 7 toughness creature, most importantly. So if I double block with a 3/4 and a 3/3, they respond by sacking 2 artifacts and just completely ruin that. If I don't block it, I'm pretty much dead. Yeah, it feels kind of dead no matter what here. If we played the early turns out a little better, we probably stood a chance here. Maybe, say I'm more familiar with the set and I'm playing around Mind Transfer Protocol. They would have had the Donatello out earlier in that case, but they wouldn't have actually had an artifact to copy with it on that first sneak hit. Maybe that could have bought us the time to try to get something going with the improvised arsenal. Land is not going to do it here. They have 10 power on their board. We're dead to 1 removal spell. Ray Fillet Man Ray is here, giving them a mutagen. Crack it for a counter on the Fugitive Droid. Yep. I have to chump and go to 3. And then we are dead. I can kind of show off how better plays earlier, like getting around the suit up, may have won us this game, because like this is what I'm talking about with these arsenals. Like, wouldn't have taken too much more damage to our opponent throughout this game to actually just win out of the arsenal with the big trampler here. 14 power at this rate. So if we had just a chunk more damage over there sooner, maybe by keeping our other creature out, we would have had a pretty good chance. Sadly, it was not to be. That'll be 2-2 for this draft of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Our worst draft so far, but still not a losing draft. A 50-50 record here. 2 wins, 2 losses. So we will take it. And we got to play a different archetype and do some pretty fun stuff with it. Pretty much everything we were doing, I think, was rare free for the most part. I think both of our wins were just a bunch of commons and uncommons. Yep, Arsenal and Ref and Leo are our rares, and I don't think they were relevant in either of our wins. We might have drawn one of them, but I don't think we really did anything with it. So just a collection of good, aggressive commons and uncommons in the Boros colors can make a good deck. Particularly, you want to have some of the great alliance cards that are triggering every time a creature enters, like the Mighty Mutanimals. This was a massive, massive overperformer, really, really, really good card, as was Raphael. So take some cards with these really good enter triggers, and then a lot of these cards that make extra tokens, like the Mechanized Ninja Cavalry, and just run a really high creature count in general. Can lead you to a pretty successful deck. We're 2-2 here, but part of that was absolutely self-inflicted. We probably could be at least 3-1 right now, and who knows from there. But that will do it for this draft. That is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. And today I'd also like to thank Wizards of the Coast for providing me with that promotional early access entry. If you enjoyed the video and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.